Boomstick's movie reel on VGM Awesome.
It's that time of the show. You listen to VGM Awesome on bradleystokeradio.org.uk, live from the Activity Centre, Brookway Activity Centre. I'm Matt Double V, joined with Boomstick and Crofty. Gentlemen, how is it going?
It's going well. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm okay. First hour was strange because you get so used to sort of, being part of a small collaborative team. What? Talking to me and my friend here, the mic. It was highly interesting. Good fun though. Good experience. Whatever. It was really, really cool. VGM Awesome. VGM 28th show tonight. We're doing very, very well. Loads of content coming up, and we're talking video games live and showcasing the amazing live concerts that are, or have been touring for quite a number of years now, playing nothing but video game music. But before we get onto that a bit more, we're going to be talking movies now.
So, yeah.
Last week, Boomstick, a.k.a. Ross Wilson.
Yeah, hi.
I feel a bit sorry for Tom Cruise and the gang.
Why?
Mission Impossible 4 got a bit of a slating, and it was our first 0 out of 10.
Yes, it's the first 0 out of 10. Because it's probably one of the worst films I've seen.
Wow.
And I've seen quite a few, like I would say a couple in my time, and it is definitely one of the worst.
Okay, but today we're sprucing things up with a bit more excitement, a bit more enthusiasm in the shape of...
Well, yeah, no, I mean, anything's got to be better than Mission Impossible 4. So there's that. There's always going to be that.
So what have you got?
That's kind of like the base level now. Well, I went to see the new Sherlock Holmes film, Game of Shadows. I don't know if you guys have seen the first one.
No, I haven't. All I know is that Sherlock Holmes kind of poses as a bit of a cage fighter in the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
without a cage.
Guy Richie directing, so it's still a Guy Ritchie film, very, very much so. In fact, like sort of his slow motion fights are probably what made the first one so good, so compelling, and a really nice take on the Sherlock Holmes sort of myth. Yeah, but this is a very enjoyable film as well. It's, if you could compare it to the first one, it's probably not as enjoyable.
Okay.
Not as
sequels
unique.
Very rarely are, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but as a standalone film, I really enjoyed this one. There's some. Oh, what are you pointing at me for?
No, I was going to say, did Guy Ritchie direct this one as well?
He did indeed. And the cast is all kind of back. Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock. He does an amazing job, to be fair, and he kind of like keeps the film ticking over.
Yeah.
He's quite a goofy character, whereas the rest of the other people like Jude Law he's quite solemn in this, possibly playing solemn, possibly not acting solemn. I'm not really sure. Either way, it came across well. He was solemn. And Rachel McAdams, who I kind of have a thing for some reason.
Always do though. Any female in any of these movies that you review, it's sort of like got a bit of a thing, like Mila Kunis.
Well, that's just common sense, isn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, but anyway, Sherlock Holmes.
Human beings,
right?
Yeah. Anyway, so Rachel McAdams sort of in this film again. Reprising her role as this sort of like for hire trickster.
Yeah.
Not really a thorn in Sherlock's side, but certainly just
Is she the antagonist?
No. She's just a player.
Oh, okay.
She's a puzzle piece.
Puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Which Crofty raises an eyebrow.
Kind of ties into the chess themes of the film, actually.
Okay.
But so it's she kind of reprises her role, but she's kind of, well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but she's kind of killed off quite early on.
Oh, really?
It's a bit shocking. It's like, whoa, I think she's...
Well, we like shocks. Shocks good.
Yeah, it's good. It was refreshing, actually. And Moriarty, the baddie, the antagonist of this film, and a lot of Sherlock-related stuff. He's meant to be his ultimate baddie. The actor, temporarily forgotten his name, but he was sublime. He was the thing to really take away from the film is that he's amazingly dark baddie. He loved good baddies.
He was jolly good.
He was jolly good, wasn't he? Yeah, Crofty
with a
saw
capital
it.
J.
Crofty saw it. What did you think of it, Crofty?
I thought it was okay because I switched off halfway through. So
okay.
Is that a good sign? I don't know.
Probably never a good sign, particularly in an action film.
What actually is this about? Does it remain true to the original, like you say, the original myth of the Mr. Holmes? Just before we go to a clip. Does it work?
Really, it's quite a big sort of international scope to it. Like they kind of end up going to Switzerland, and the kind of main climax of the film, really, I suppose, is to sort of gatecrash this peace treaty, peace summit of sorts. That's where Moriarty is going to do his wicked deeds. But he's kind of like Yeah, the climax of the film between Sherlock and Moriarty is really cool, and I really like their dynamic. Not only do I like their dynamic in this, I've also been watching the Sherlock BBC series as well.
Okay.
Completely different Sherlock, and a completely different envisioning of it.
Yeah.
And I really like their dynamic in that as well, but wholly different. I don't know how they've done it, but like, really, they must just be not watching each other's stuff.
I guess like when the story or the character is getting done twice simultaneously, it would be difficult to not because you'd want to watch it and say, oh, how have they done it, and take some influence, but then you run the risk of running that into your own art, don't you?
Yeah,
into your own
certainly
piece.
you do, like getting sort of influenced by it. But I think what they've done really nicely here, and it's for once, this doesn't normally work, but they've really Americanized Sherlock for the Robert Downey Jr.
Does he not have an English accent then?
Oh no, he does.
Oh, so he is playing the British.
He plays the British, and Jude Law's obviously in it. But I don't know, the way it's shot and the way it feels is kind of fast-paced and American-y, rather than the sort of... I still don't think that it's like his like Guy Ritchie's Snatch or Lock, Stock or stuff like that.
Right.
I think he's gone down the American route in some ways as a director recently. And what's amazing about the BBC series is that it's extremely British.
Okay.
And Benedict Cumberbatch being, other than having one of the most British-sounding names I've ever heard, he's fantastically fast-witted and very much British kind of humour to it. Which is not true of the sort of Americanized Guy Ritchie version.
Yeah. Okay.
But, very different and amazing. It's one great use of Americanization, I think.
Good stuff. All right then. Well, let's have a listen to this. We've got a short clip, as always.
I don't blame you. I blame myself. It's been apparent to me for some time that you had succumbed to your feelings for him. And this isn't the first occasion Mr. Holmes has inconvenienced me in recent months. The question is, what to do about it?
Boomstick's movie reel on VGM Awesome.
Going back to the bad guy there, I mean, he does sound very sinister.
Well,
very nice tone to his voice.
Even from that, you can tell that he kind of sounds bad, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's really good at it. He was he's done some really random films, if memory serves. Like, there wasn't much pattern to his past career so far, but I'm quite intrigued to see what he does next, because it's one to watch.
Yeah.
Really
It'd be interesting to see or to know where they got, how did this guy spring to light? Where did they get him from? What put him on the map? Because I can't imagine he must have done something gritty and,
don't know, mate. Well, not necessarily. He might have just read the script real well.
Maybe so.
Better than I said that sentence. He might have said it. He might have been quite intriguing on the day. I mean, I guess Guy Ritchie's quite an interesting caster. He always gets some really random people in. Casting like Vinnie Jones is a crazy idea.
I know, but then he always
it's
almost like he either tailor makes these characters for them, or he just picks the right person for it. He picks people to play these characters and live up to their strengths. He
certainly plays their strengths very well.
Yeah.
And that's what great casting is all about. Right?
Exactly. So, after last week's rather dismal 0 out of 10, Boomstick's rating for this week, fingers crossed, is at least over 5.
I would give this. I was going to say 5 actually, because it's not a sterling film, but standalone, it's a really enjoyable watch, and it's kind of like a really fun cinema watch.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Do you?
Just kind of does what it says on the tin. Doesn't bring anything new, but it's fun. It's attractive. A good family action film.
Yeah, and it's just kept really really playful, I think, and that's kind of important for this sequel to be any worth. To know that it's not going to be stretched very very much.
That was always what it was going to be. If you do like a gritty, really dark, which I think Sherlock Holmes, if they did that kind of whole mythology, could be something really compelling, really dark, and quite very emotionally driven, but then you run the risk of kind of cutting off your audience a bit,
It's interesting because the BBC one kind of they've made it pretty dark and emotional.
Yeah.
But it's the wit is very very fast, so I guess that kind of has that kind of balance to it.
Okay, all right then. Well, we're going to be talking some more movies, as well as Crofty coming up, who's going to be talking sound design in games and movies as well, or just games.
Movies does make an appearance.
Good. Well, that's
Guest
coming.
star.
Guest star. That's coming up after Tetris.